government, with the help of its allied parties, has saved the country from bankruptcy. Two-day Inter-Parliamentary Union regional seminar held in Islamabad has expressed the resolve to find solutions to climate change. German ambassador expresses keen interest in strengthening bilateral relations with Pakistan and Germany, especially in economic and trade sectors. The interim government of Afghanistan has denied the allegations leveled in a United Nations report about a human rights situation in the country. UN Secretary General has urged Armenia and Azerbaijan to take immediate steps to de-escalate tension. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif says federal and provincial governments, in collaboration with Pakistan Army, are working to provide relief to people in flood-affected areas across the country. Talking to media persons during his visit to rains and flood-affected districts of Sobatpur in Balochistan today, he said all-out efforts are being made to help flood-affected people. The Prime Minister said electricity bills of August and September of flood-affected people have been condoned. He said 24 billion rupees cash assistance has so far been disbursed through Benazir Income Support Program among the flood-affected families. Earlier, during the briefing, the Prime Minister directed to expedite process for drainage of water in flood-affected areas beside restoration of basic infrastructure. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says that incumbent government, with the help of its allied parties, has saved the country from bankruptcy. Addressing Lawyers' Convention in Islamabad today, he said last government pushed the country on the verge of financial default. The Prime Minister said now flood has created a challenging situation for the country. He said these rains and flood are unprecedented and people in Balochistan, Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and South Punjab have suffered a lot. Shehbaz Sharif regretted that Pakistan, even after 75 years of its inception, is not economically strong. Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif will pay a two-day visit to Uzbekistan tomorrow to attend the annual meeting of the Council of Heads of State of a Shanghai Cooperation Organization being held at Samarkand. At the forthcoming event, the SCO leaders will deliberate on important global and regional issues, including climate change, food and energy security, and sustainable supply chains. They will also approve agreements and documents that will chart the future direction of cooperation among SCO member states. On the sidelines of the summit, the Prime Minister will also hold bilateral meetings with other participating leaders. The third Inter-Parliamentary Union Regional Seminar on Achieving Sustainable Development Goals for Parliaments of Asia-Pacific adopted an outcome document in Islamabad today, expressing the resolve to find solutions to climate change and implement sustainable development goals. The outcome document was presented by convener of the Parliamentary Task Force on SDGs, Rumina Khurshid Alam, at the concluding session of the two-day regional seminar. The forum stressed that big carbon polluters should take more responsibility for climate change, meet their obligations, and do utmost to cut carbon emissions. The participants expressed solidarity and sympathy with the people affected by floods in Pakistan and hope the country will be able to recover soon from the calamity. This is Radio Pakistan. A delegation of China National Nuclear Corporation, headed by its president overseas, Zhang Lang, called on Minister for Finance Miftah Ismail in Islamabad today and briefed him on investment in CPEC projects and presented the company's report. Expressing sympathy over the loss of lives, properties and infrastructure due to the recent devastating floods in Pakistan, Zhang Liangliang offered his company support for the flood relief work. Ambassador of Germany Alfred Kranz also called on Miftah Ismail at Finance Division in Islamabad today. The finance minister highlighted bilateral relations and level of development in these relations between Germany and Pakistan. It has shared that Pakistan highly values its bilateral ties with Germany, including trade and economic relations. Ambassador of Germany thanked the finance minister and expressed a keen interest in enhancing and strengthening bilateral relations between both the countries, especially economic and trade relations. The German ambassador also expressed sympathies over the loss of lives and devastation caused by recent floods in Pakistan. The government has decided to optimally utilize the indigenous source of energy in the country instead of relying on expensive imported fuel for power generation. This was stated by Minister for Power Khurram Dastagir Khan while addressing a news conference in Islamabad today. He said shifting the entire electricity generation on indigenous sources will lessen the burden on national exchequer and provide low-cost electricity to consumers. The minister said the indigenous sources of energy, including solar, wind, hydel, coal and nuclear, are not only cost-effective but also climate-friendly. He said the government has also planned to start solar power projects in rural areas, while government buildings and agricultural use tube wells will also be solarized. The minister said a 120 megawatt Shanghai Thermal coal project will be completed by the end of this year. The Deputy Chairman, National Food Response Coordination Centre, SN Iqbal, has directed all stakeholders to accelerate efforts for rehabilitation of flood-affected people. Presiding over a meeting of the forum in Islamabad today, he directed to focus on prevention of epidemics in flood-hit areas. The forum was apprised on latest provincial flood situation update along with rehabilitation of communication infrastructure including railways and highways. Pakistan Air Force is making all-out efforts for the relief and rehabilitation of flood-affected people across the country. According to a statement, PAF is assisting civil administration in relief efforts in the flood-hit areas of Balochistan, Sindh, KP and South Punjab. Pakistan Air Force has also established various field medical camps where doctors and paramedical staff are providing free treatment and medicines to the flood affectees around the clock. The interim government of Afghanistan has denied the allegations leveled in the United Nations report about human rights situation, particularly violations of women's rights in the country. In a statement, spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid said the report of the United Nations representative Richard Bennett on human rights situation in Afghanistan is biased and far from reality. He said, "We condemn and call it regrettable that irresponsible and controversial statements are being published against Afghanistan." Meanwhile, the Chief of Staff at the Afghan Ministry of Labour and Social Affairs, Safaruddin Sharaf, in a statement said that many women are being paid in the country despite not attending work. New clashes have erupted between Azerbaijan and Armenia as international peace efforts intensified a day after nearly 100 soldiers have been killed in border clash between the two countries. Meanwhile, the Russian Foreign Ministry has urged both the parties to refrain from further escalation and show restraint. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has also called on Armenia and Azerbaijan to take immediate steps to de-escalate tension, exercise maximum restraint and resolve any outstanding issues through dialogue and implement previous agreements. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is likely to prevail in most plain areas of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain with wind and thunderstorm is expected at isolated places in Upper Punjab, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir. Now some of the headlines once again. Prime Minister directed to expedite process of drainage of water in flood-affected areas beside restoration of basic infrastructure. Shehbaz Sharif says government, with the help of its allied parties, has saved the country from bankruptcy. Two-day Inter-Parliamentary Union regional seminar held in Islamabad has expressed the resolve to find solutions to climate change. German ambassador expresses keen interest in strengthening bilateral relations between Pakistan and Germany, especially in economic and trade sectors. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.